multiple times if need be. So.
Okay, we're getting word that RDU will be picking Paladin as his next class. And I'm going to guess that the Paladin is going to be slightly faster Paladin. There's slower Paladins tend to not be very popular. And the only player that actually uses slower Paladins these days is Savitz. He's pretty known for using like the Hot Form Paladin because Hot Form invented it. A player relatively unknown named Hot Form. It's pretty much has 2 lay on hands and has piloted Sky Golems, no Knife Jugglers, no Zombie Chows, just curves very high.
Yeah,
but,
it's Super Turtle. Yeah.
Everyone else pretty much uses Zombie Chows, Knife Jugglers, and they try to take control of the board very quickly at first, which is very important against Druid.
I remember the name of the deck when I first saw it was I think Purple Turtle, which I think might have been a modification of Hot Form's deck by Purple Drank. Which was basically that you just turtle all game long and you heal up and you fatigue them essentially. You just wait until your minions, which are high value, just obliterate. I think you run Kel'Thuzad in that deck, unless I'm mistaken.
Yeah, Kel'Thuzad is
the one.
In that deck.
Yeah, definitely in that deck. So that's the one I'm thinking about. Savitz is a very defensive player though. I don't remember last time I saw him play an aggressive deck outside of like the old Hunters, which were the most aggressive decks that I've seen him play.
All right, the game's starting up right now. And we're going to see, indeed, RDU is running Knife Juggler, so that's indicative of a faster Paladin deck.
Yep. Yeah, Muster for Battle, I mean, Knife Juggler has gone up in value since the advent of Implosion and Muster for Battle. It's been seen a lot more. It was already played in multiple decks, but now Paladin uses it as well, which is... It was kind of unheard of. It was played in very, very hyper-aggressive, but nothing... I mean, this is kind of a mid-range approach to Knife Juggler plays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, an excellent hand for RDU right now. He has a Knife Juggler. That Zombie Chow is a bit too late. But he has the Knife Juggler. He has the Muster. He has Zombie Chow. He has Piloted Shredder. It's all curving out also well.
Yeah, and it's also interesting. I mean, if the Zombie Chow had fallen turn 1, this would have been obviously a bit better for the Paladin, but he can still curve pretty well on turn 3 here with Zombie Chow and the Hero Power. Alright, there's no Innervate nor Wild Growth on the Druid's part, though.
Yeah. RDU decides to go for Zombie Chow instead of Muster for Battle. Just overall slightly stronger play and overall a little less weak to Harrison Jones later on from the Druid. And 4 drop for RDU, pretty nice.
Oh wow! All right, so now these are the turns where the Druid starts actually applying counter pressure. This is the point where this starts. But the 2 True Server Champions are going to make sure with True Server Champion that he can trade optimally with a lot of stuff for a little while.
Yeah, True Server Champion is definitely one of the key cards in this matchup. Not only is it able to clear Druid minions really effectively, but you also heal a bit in the process, so it doesn't hurt as much. It doesn't. It allows you to trade without bringing you down your health too low, so that you're weak to combo.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm guessing he's running at least 1 lay on hands in there, or at least 1 anti-heal bot, which is fairly common nowadays.
Yeah, but unfortunately, like in these type of decks, I believe anti-heal bot isn't as common because they're slightly faster druids.
Another druid with a paladin, that is. You mean?
Sorry.
Oh
yeah,
wow, this 2-drop couldn't have been worse.
I mean, it's only fair. Gaara got a captain's parrot last game, so RDU gets one this game, I guess.
Okay, I missed that. I must have been disconnecting hard. Alright, so he plays Lothab to be able to trade into something like a Sludge Belcher, I'm assuming, or...
Well, he did
at
see
least Karen or Sylvanas. Yeah,
game,
there we go.
So this works out very well.
Yeah, this is a very nice play. If he plays Silences, this could be a nice turn to top deck them. Nope, none of that.
Dr. Boom. Hey, turn 7, Dr. Boom, why not?
Yeah, I mean, the prerequisite was met, 7 mana has been reached, so now Dr. Boom has all the reasons to be played. And there's no swipe currently in Gaara's hand, but nonetheless, his hand is quite strong. There's no BGH for the tech, though, to kill the Dr. Boom.
Gaara has a few decent options, especially because the Innervate is in his hand right now.
Yeah, it opens up his range.
He could either go for Scenarius or something with a Sylvanas.
I don't know. Scenarius feels a bit weak considering Consecration hasn't been played yet. You assume that there might be one in his hand at this point, and unless you're buffing up Cairn, which would be one of the weirdest plays you could make at this point. I feel it's probably not very optimal. So there's going to be a lot of damage taking here.
Sylvanas puts a bit of pressure on the board, but you can't really follow up with anything else if you play Sylvanas. You can kind of like Sylvanas innervate hero power maybe.
Yeah, well, it would have to be something along those lines to reduce some of the bad RNG that might occur. Or you just play Keeper of the Grove, Pilot Shredder. It's just one of those really weird turns where there's nothing you do that really feels good. So Gaara goes and tries to set up some kind of lethal with Savage Roar next turn, forcing his opponent to play somewhat defensively.
Yeah, he's hoping his opponent does. He realizes that there's no way he's going to be able to clear his opponent's board right now. It's just way too strong. So he has to go for the offensive hopes. He has to hope.
This is a good game, I believe. Yep.
Yep. That's it. With the True Silver Champion, it's definitely a good game.
Yep.
I think we've seen this 2 games in a row where Dr. Boom was played on turn 7.
And the game was over.
Yeah, the opponent had no answer, so Dr. Boom did 9 damage the next turn.
Yeah, that's generally what happens when you don't have the immediate answer, which is the reason so many people have been running, MC Tech and BGH in their decks, because they're tech cards that can be used against stuff like Ragnaros and whatnot, but now that they're getting rotated out as a result of people starting to play Kel'Thuzad and... actually, we haven't seen Full Reaper at all, disappointingly, ever. That's one of the cards that I'm still waiting to see in action at some point. But BGH is getting phased out, and as a result, Dr. Boom, when it falls on turn 7, is just even a bigger threat nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, there is a trend to put creatures in your deck that aren't weak to BGH, so Foe Reaper could be one of those cards. I mean, I have seen Foe Reaper, actually, not in competitive play, but on the ladder in Druid decks sometimes.
In Druid, it can be somewhat nice. Yeah, I played it in Druid a little bit, but it's just not... I mean, it feels like you're playing a bad KT at that point, and I would not run both. I feel like they're just not... useful together at that point.
I mean, you have KT, you have Sneed's Old Shredder, and you even have Ysera in that spot. So all those cards kind of fulfill somewhat similar purposes. They're just big legendaries that are very threatening, and they're not weak to BGH.
Yep.
But you can only choose like 2 or 3 of them at max, and Full Reaper is just kind of the odd one out.
Yeah, I guess if you had the same ability at a lower mana cost with a smaller body, maybe people would be interested in playing him as an 8 drop. Considering the competition up there, it's really rough. It's like Gruul just not getting played at all.
We got word that Gaara will be picking Shaman